The sun's light contains energy. Usually when light hits an object, the energy turns into heat, like the warmth you feel while sitting in the sun. But when light hits certain materials, the energy turns into an electric current instead, which can then be harnessed for power.
The Chuck 7 News brings you a special news broadcast for solar thermal energy, an environmentally friendly way to provide heat and energy. Now to Kevin Schranz, our environmentalist. Kevin, tell us a little bit about solar thermal energy.
Solar thermal energy is a technology for harnessing solar energy from the sun for thermal energy, which is heat. There are three types of solar thermal energy collectors: low temperature, medium temperature, and high temperature.
Thank you, Kevin. Now here's to Harrison and Madison, our experts on this topic.
Thanks, Alex. As Kevin said, there are three different types of solar thermal energy collectors. Low temperature collectors are generally installed to heat swimming pools, although they can be used to heat spaces.
Low temperature collectors are flat plates generally used to heat swimming pools.
The second type of collector is called a medium temperature collector. This could be used to produce approximately 50% or more of the hot water needed for residential and commercial use in the United States.
Medium temperature collectors are usually flat plates, but are used for heating water or air for residential and commercial use.
Where temperatures below about 95 degrees Celsius are sufficient, high temperature flat plate collectors are generally used. They are used for giving power to big companies or power plants who are in need of a lot of energy.
High temperature collectors concentrate sunlight using mirrors or lenses and are generally used for electric power production. STE is different from and much more efficient than 1, 2, and 3 photovoltaics, which converts solar energy directly into electricity.
Thank you, Harrison and Madison, for those wonderful insights on solar thermal energy. Now to Alex Lambert, our student from Cornell, who is an expert on this topic. Now there are a lot of benefits to solar thermal energy. The first is that there's no fuel cost. Solar thermal energy does not require any fuel like most other sources of renewable energy. This is a huge advantage for other fossil fuels where costs are increasing at a drastic rate every year. Electricity prices are increasingly rapidly in most parts of the world, faster than the general inflation. Price shocks due to high fuel costs are a big risk with fossil fuels energy this day. The second is it's predictable. 24/7 power. Solar thermal energy can generate power 24 hours a day. This is made possible by solar thermal power plants that store energy in a form of molten salts and etc. Other forms of renewable energy like the solar PV and wind energy are intermittent in nature. The electricity supply is much more uniform and reliable. The third is that there's no pollution and it doesn't hurt anything due to global warming. Solar thermal energy does not cause pollution, which is one of the biggest advantages. Note that there are no costs associated with the equipment used to build and transport solar thermal energy equipment, so that helps even more.
Along with the many advantages to solar thermal energy, there are a lot of disadvantages. First, there are the high cost. Solar thermal energy costs about $5 a watt. Then there's the water issue. Solar thermal plants use a lot of water, which is a major problem in desert areas, and non-water cooling is too costly. Then there's ecological and cultural issues. Using solar thermal energy is noted to have a heavily impact on the desert wildlife, endangering the endangered species. And there's limited locations and size limitations. Solar thermal energy can only be built in places which have a high amount of solar radiation. This means they can't be built in populated areas.
Thank you, Kevin. Now out to Alcides Escobar, our reporter in Iran.
This is Alcides Escobar reporting live from Iran. In urban areas in Iran, heating and hot water installations vary substantially. The most popular systems are central gas burning boilers that are placed in cellars of residential, commercial, and office buildings. These boilers provide both hot water and heat throughout radiators. The situation in southern parts of Iran is totally different, as gas pipelines are absent in these areas. Thus, electrical water heaters are commonly used for supply of hot water. In general, this hot water is used for washing purposes only. In southern Iran, there are hardly any space heating installations, as they are not needed throughout the year due to climate conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Escobar. And from everybody at Truck 7 News, we say goodnight. And tune in next week for another edition of Solar Thermal Energy. Thank you.